On this episode of Going Back and Catching Up, we'll do exactly that with Rodney Atkins. He had a string of hits back to back to back to back, including one that I was very partial to. I'll ask him about that in this episode's conversation, among some other things about his past that maybe you did know about and maybe you didn't know about. I know one thing that I found out, that the state of Indiana holds a very special place in Rodney's heart. So what do you say we just get right to it and go back and catch up with Rodney Atkins?
Indiana, my favorite states in the whole country, man. Absolutely love it. Love it. That we've done. That's what I think we've done a couple videos there, just because no place makes you feel like home more than Indiana, man.
All right, I love to hear it. What's the best thing about Indiana in Rodney Atkins' mind? What do you got?
Oh, it's the people, man. We did These Are My People video in Indiana, actually. It's the people, man. None better in the world.
I know Indiana feels the same way about you.
Cool, man. Can't wait.
Well, let's track back to your first big hit. I know it's been a while. I mean, 20-something years. Honesty. I remember when that song came out, and I remember you performing. I don't know if you remember a little venue we have in town that still exists to this day called the Follinger Theater. It's an outdoor theater, kind of an intimate place, and do a lot of stuff in Fort Wayne. It's right next to the Fort Wayne Children's Zoo. And you were there, but it was before you'd made the transition from cowboy hat to ball cap. Was the cowboy hat something you wanted to wear, or is that just kind of a record label thing at that time going, you know what, everybody's wearing them now, Rodney, we want you to wear one?
Oh, dude, Lord, no. It was just, that was the thing, man. It was like you either if it was a hat act, it was cowboy hat. It's either a hat act or no hat. That was the deal. And man, it was just kind of a thing that the label, that first record was a whole lot of them, the music professionals telling me how to look. They had me wearing leather breeches and like gooed up hair and that cowboy hat. And I think I was rocking, I still got a mullet, but I was rocking a mullet, and then they wanted me to cut my hair, and I don't know. Yeah, that was label directed, 100%. And then after that first album, we had that one song that kind of went through with Honesty. It got into the top 5. When we started working on the Going Through Hell album, we just said, wait a minute, I just got to be me. And I caught a lot of flack. I was the first guy to wear a ball cap on like a red carpet and stuff, and I caught a lot of flack for that, really.
But it's one of those things where it's like, if that's you, be true to who you are, right? And I think that was successful for you and still is.
I changed managers at that time, and it was the guy that started managing me, still managing me, he's not managing me now. And he just, as we started working on that next album, he said, man, I got to ask you a question. Do you ever wear any of this stuff on this first album? I've never seen you dress like that. You always wear like jeans, cargo shorts, a ball cap. I've seen you in overalls a few times, but never like this. I'm like, no. He said, you just need to make the music match you. Ball cap, let's just do that, be you. And people can relate to that. Cowboy hat's hard to relate to. I grew up farming. I grew up hauling hay and cutting tobacco.
Yeah, well, that makes it a lot more relevant to who you are. I would have loved to see Rodney Atkins on the red carpet in the cargo shorts, though. I mean, that would have really thrown people for a loop.
I do it now, man. I do it right
now. Rodney Atkins is my guest here. He's going to be at the Three Rivers Festival this Saturday night. And, you were talking about the next album, Going Through Hell. I mean, so many songs came off of that. And the one that I'm partial to, and I'm sure you are, is Watching You. That song came out when my son was like 4 years old, so that tune was really relatable to me, especially the fries and the Happy Meal and all that. I mean, it's still to this day, it brings me back to seeing my son sit in the back seat with a Happy Meal or whatever fast food we picked up on that particular day. So, I mean, thank you for that, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. A lot of people relate to that tune.
That means the world. It's better than having a hit. To have a song like that, I really wrote that song just to play it for my kid. That was it.
Yeah.
He got in trouble. he got in trouble for singing "If You're Going Through Hell" in the lunch line at pre-K. And I just started thinking about my 4-year-old said a 4-letter word, and I wrote it for him and a couple friends, and that was it.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
I was even told by some of the professionals that it was a cute song, but nobody would really want to hear me sing about my 4-year-old saying a 4-letter word.
Oh, man.
And the people, again, it's the people, man. They made that song a hit. It became the most played song of the decade.
That's incredible.
Because of the people. And I cherish that. And now when we play shows, and these kids are singing it, and that means parents, grandparents have played it for them.
Oh, yeah.
And after all these years, my wife finally got my son, who is grown up now.
Right.
He's finishing college. Finally got him to sing a chorus with me, and she posted the thing. Because I never could get him to do it. He's shy like I was.
Yeah.
And got him to sing a version or a chorus with me on TikTok. And that thing has got like 11 or 12 million views now.
It's amazing. It's amazing stuff like that. It brings me back to when the analogy I have is when I went to see I think it was Toy Story 3. Yeah, it was Toy Story 3 when that was in theaters, and then just to see the crowd that was in there of, like the parents with their kids when that movie had come out originally, and then they were grown and had their kids there, and that's kind of the same thing with this song. It just touches all the different generations, and it's amazing.
That's my goal is to. I take a long time making records, but I want songs that will remain relevant.
Yep. Yeah.
For a long time, and it's hard to find tunes like that. And I don't want to waste people's time. And when we come and play the shows and people are singing along, man, that's the greatest thing in the world. That I can just shut up and we can be the house band and everybody sing.
Amen. Amen. Were you ever approached by McDonald's with that song when it came out, the Happy Meal? Like, oh man, we've got this guy singing about the Happy Meal. Did anybody ever get in contact with you?
I wish. A couple years ago, actually, we were approached that they were going to do something about put something on the fries and something about as featured in Rodney Atkins, Watching You. And then something happened. I'm not sure exactly. That's the only kind of blip that I've heard about it.
Oh, man.
And one time, my son actually gave me a Father's Day card that opened and it sang and it played the song. I don't remember what happened with those, but that should definitely be happening again, though. I love that. That made me cry.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's awesome. I love hearing stories like that. Rodney Atkins is with me here, and you were talking about all your different songs. Is that the favorite song of yours that you've recorded? Have you had to pick just one and said, you know what, that's my favorite song?
Probably. It's special. It's locked in a moment of time. And now I have a 4- and 6-year-old boys now. I've got all boys. And they sing it. And my youngest 4-year-old, his name's Scout. The other two, Eli's oldest and Ryder is 6. They got nervous and stuff, but Scout, man, he is tenacious. He'll go out there. If he's with me this weekend, he'll probably come out there and sing it. He loves to sing that song. He's a wild kid, man. But yeah, Watching You is probably it's just so personal and so that moment in time.
Is there a song that you passed on that got in front of you and you passed on and said, no, I don't want to do that, or it wasn't the right time for it? Is there one that was like that you wish you could have had back, or one that you could have recorded or would have? The
one, yes, that got by me, and it got by me because I think I was doing a USO tour or something. I couldn't get in the studio to record it.
Mm-hmm.
One that I didn't write, obviously. And Billy Currington cut it, but it was People Are Crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That's the only one. That one got by me.
I could definitely see you cutting that song. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
I love that tune.
It is a good tune. Do you still get asked, and I know this was, I remember when you had first come out, and I think it was about the same time Trace was out, do you still get confused and think that you guys are related in some way, even though the names are spelled completely differently, that oh yeah, that must be his brother or his cousin or something? Do people still come up to you and say stuff like that?
It's been a long time, but yeah, and still, man, if people will, I guess, search or they'll put my name in. I played somewhere not long ago with my name on the headline billboard was spelled Adkins. I don't care. Trace had the best answer because people were asking him the same thing.
Yeah.
And he said, well, the ADs was goat thieves and the ATs was chicken thieves. And we just never got along back then, but we're all good now.
Oh.
It's some crazy thing like that.
That's hilarious. I've never heard that story before.
I can't remember what it was now. It's been a long time ago.
Oh, my gosh. All right, so just to clear up any confusion, Rodney and Trace, not related. So I've either diffused people or I've created more contra. Who knows? You just never know these days.
When I first got to town and I was turned down by every label in town, part of me getting turned down was because I asked me if I would change my name. When I'd go have a meeting with a record label, I'd say, no, I'm not changing my name. I'm lucky to have this last name.
Mm-hmm.
And I was adopted as a kid. And my name when I was born was Jimmy Holston. And the orphanage was Holston Home for Children. Every baby was given the name Jimmy Holston.
Oh, wow.
Until you're adopted, that's what you had. And so I was lucky to have my last name. When I went to meet with Mike Curb, he asked me, would you consider changing your last name? Because there was Rhett Atkins and Trace. And I told him my story, and he said, well, you know what? Curb Records is on Chet Atkins, is it Boulevard or Avenue on Music Row? And he said, so he spells his name A-T, and that's the best reason I ever heard not to change your last name.
What a great story. See, a lot of people don't know the backgrounds of this stuff, and just on a little conversation, all this stuff spawns off it. So thanks for sharing all that. And I know you and your wife Rose are now singing together, doing the Rod and Rose thing. Now, if you could branch off of this, I know the McDonald's thing didn't work out for you because of the Happy Meal and all that, but maybe you guys should start a fishing and floral store and call it Rod and Rose.
I love that.
And just you sell your songs in there, and then you also have stuff for fishing, and then you've got stuff for whatever, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to do that stuff these days, man. You got to merchandise.
Yes, you better believe it.
Brand.
What is one thing that you've done in your career that you would not have been able to do without country music, without a music career? What's one thing that you can't see yourself doing without it?
Oh gosh. Going out and playing in front of thousands of people every night and having them singing along with you is, there's no way that will be happening. USO stuff, that never would have happened. To be playing at a fob in the middle of Afghanistan with a bunch of wild ass Marines, that never would have happened without country music.
That's
so many blessings. It's so many blessings, man.
Well, I can tell, even this many years into the business, you still know how blessed you are to have this, and that's makes us appreciate you even more.
1,000%, man. I count my blessings. It's a tough business. It's a brutal business. Nobody wants to hear about that, but it is. But the people, man, it's the people. There's so many blessings. Anything that that's, like they say, worth doing. You got to dig in sometimes, and it's not easy all the time. But man, I love every inch of it. The good, the bad, the bitter, the sweet. It's I thank God for what I get to do, and I cherish every single second.
Well, Rodney, I wanted to do a little something fun with you before I let you go. Again, Three Rivers Festival this Saturday night. Make sure you go out there. I got a little Rod or Rodney trivia for you, okay?
Sweet.
Here we go. I need the name of the singer that gave us Do You Think I'm Sexy, Forever Young, and Some Guys Have All the Love.
Oh, Rod Stewart.
Rod Stewart, very good. You do any Rod Stewart on stage at all?
I have not. I've never thought about that.
Yeah.
Got some good tunes.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. He was the host of the iconic Twilight Zone.
Oh, what is his name? Rod Serling?
Yeah, nice job.
Okay.
All right. And finally, this one should be easy. I'm thinking I'll leave the best for last. This man got no respect. Absolutely none.
Oh, he is the Rodney Dangerfield.
You got it. You got it.
he's the boss.
May he rest in peace, man. He was great for sure. The late Rodney Dangerfield. Well, hey, I really appreciate you taking a few minutes, man. Great to revisit with you again and just kind of get some of these stories that I never knew about. And may McDonald's, if they're listening, give this man a call.
Let's go. Absolutely.
Hey, bud, thanks again for your time, Rodney. I appreciate you, bud.
Oh, thank you, Dan. We'll talk to you soon, bud.